How y'all doing? God bless Texas and these United States. This is Reverend Barry Willie Black, and today we are talking about Texas Coins Foundation project on Indiegogo. But a little bit of history first. Coins and other articles of trade have been made use of for trade for millennia. According to tradition, trade articles bought Manhattan Island, and it is now New York. Link to the true story is posted on the project page. As the story goes, the island of Manhattan was purchased from Native Americans on May 24, 1626, for trade goods, valued at about 60 Dutch guilders, which in the 19th century was estimated erroneously to be the equivalent of about 24 US dollars. In 1803, the United States bought the Louisiana Territory for the total of about $15 million in cash and other valuable considerations, or about 4 cents per acre. Today, the original Louisiana Territory is large portions of Louisiana, Texas, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, and Minnesota, and all of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The cost, about $236 million in 2013 dollars, or less than 42 cents per acre, is what that 529,920,000 acres cost. I can't even begin to imagine what that 500 million plus acres of land is worth today, when more than 25% of our country's states were grown from that land. The French had never bothered to explore it sufficiently to know what they had, and the same has been true of alternative currencies for the most part. Fast forward, and this year I read the article, How Fake Money Saved Brazil, on the NPR website. It is the story about how an economist and his 3 buddies tricked the people of Brazil into saving their country from rampant inflation. In the 1980s, Brazil's inflation rate hit 80% per month. At that rate, if eggs cost $1 one day, they'll cost $2 a month later. If it keeps up for a year, they'll cost $1,000. The 4 friends set about explaining their idea after the president finally gave in to the situation the country faced and called them to the nation's capital. That a crazy and very unlikely plan, but it worked. You have to slow down the creation of money, they explained. But just as important, you have to stabilize people's faith in money itself, and they will have to be tricked into thinking money will hold its value. The 4 economists wanted to create a new currency that was stable, dependable, and trustworthy. The only catch? This currency would not be real. No coins, no bills. It was fake. We called it a unit of real value, URV, it was said. It was virtual. It didn't exist, in fact. People would still have and use the existing currency, the Cruzeiro. But everything would be listed in URVs, the fake currency. Their wages would be listed in URVs, taxes were listed in URVs, all prices were listed in URVs, and URVs were kept stable. What changed was how many Cruzeiros each URV was worth. Say, for example, that milk costs 1 URV. On a given day, 1 URV might be worth 10 Cruzeiros. A month later, milk would still cost 1 URV, but that 1 URV might be worth 20 Cruzeiros. The idea was that people would start thinking in URVs and stop expecting prices to always go up. We didn't understand what it was, says Maria, a housewife from Sao Paulo. I used to say it was a fantasy because it was not real. Still, people used URVs, and after a few months they began to see that prices in URVs were stable. Once that happened, the economist and his buddies would declare that the virtual currency would become the country's actual currency. It would be called the real. So there you go. 4 individuals saved the Brazilian economy with an alternative currency or medium of exchange. Fast forward about 20 some odd years, and in 2009 Bitcoin was launched. By the fall of 2013, Bitcoin and other early altcoins were getting so much attention that new generations of machines were engineered to mine the coins. Today the world is flooded with generations of alt currency mining equipment. Texas coin can be mined with any of them. The Texas coin code is set so that it will not get to be like Bitcoin is currently. Too expensive to mine with common equipment. Now let's come back to the future. Help me make the next step a reality by pledging your financial support of Texas Coin Foundation. Thank you for your support.